Welcome to the Canada Guns Talk Show, episode 51. Happy New Year! Yay!
Yay!
Come at me, 2019. I said the title wrong, but who cares? We're gonna go with that. Yeah. Hello, we're back. It's a new year. We are gonna do the same shit. We're not gonna change anything. We literally said we were gonna try to do something new, and we did not look at anything at all about changing. We're gonna still drink beer and say bad words. Say hi, everyone.
Well, I mean, now that it's 2019, we can smoke weed and say bad words. We don't need to just drink beer.
I should do drugs live on air.
Weed's legal now. We're in Canada, right?
Yeah, we're in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't said hi yet, guys.
Hi yet, guys.
Hi yet, guys, as well.
You know, these jokes, they're so good. The content quality is so high.
I'm Adriel, the hunting gear guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Who are you, other bald guy?
I'm Garrett, also known as Garrett1234. I'm probably the most original guy in the group.
Hi, I'm him.
I was trying to figure out your username. That part was really hard, but now I got it. Now that you've explained it, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So many
mysteries going.
It is totally not an alt.
No.
So we're gonna do a show like where we talking stuff. So you got some listeners. You're eating pie.
I'm eating pie. Okay, Garrett, what did you do? You haven't been in here for a while. What have you been up to?
Oh, I mean, lots of things. Shot a deer, shot some geese, shot some sandhill cranes. But
all
it's
good.
Hunting season, which is months and months and months ago. But got to take a buddy out.
Eat a dick. I just shot a duck.
I see that. No, took a buddy out. He decided this year that he wanted to go hunting. Took his grandpa's rifle. And very first day out, I put him 50 feet away from a nice 4-pointer.
Oh, you're too kind.
I'm right there with him, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Well, it looks kind of small. I'm like, shoot it! He'd never been that close to a deer, that wasn't like dead in a ditch or something like that. Didn't realize that, that was a good deer to shoot, man. Like, I didn't see what the problem. I'm just like, why haven't you shot this thing? Because he didn't even have his gun shouldered or nothing. And then as soon as he goes to shoulder it, he stepped on a twig. Deer just bolted. And he was shooting a Winchester 88, with iron sights. So he was just like, oh, that's too far from me. I'm like, sharp shooting. You got 5 rounds in that thing. Go. So, no, and then it took till the last day of hunting season, 2 minutes of daylight left, and he went to go shoot one, and then didn't want to shoot it with his gun because it was too dark. I'm like, well, I'll use my super high quality Reddit approved Remington 783. Highly recommend it. Definitely doesn't rust. Definitely good gun. And
but did it go off when you pulled the safety off though?
There's the
that would actually pull the trigger.
No,
safety is the trigger.
The safety is the trigger. Yeah, it's a feature.
You keep your booger hook off the bang stick, right?
Yeah, and you don't want to touch the trigger. That's dangerous.
Yeah. Always follow the gun rules of safety. Make sure you shoot first and ask questions later. And then just still slowly waiting for my WK to come in, which finally I have a tracking number and it's finally left. So I got a call 3 Sundays ago from CanadaGuns saying that, hey, those guns are inbound for us. They're on the way. We've tried to run your credit card there for the rest of it, but it didn't go through. And I was like, oh, that's funny. And he's like, oh, why is that? I'm like, because I paid with EMT in advance, everything. It's like, oh, okay then. Yeah, don't worry then. So a week later, no tracking number, no nothing. Call back in, and the guy's like, oh, man, I totally shit the bed there. Because when I looked at it, and after you said you paid it, I put it in the unpaid pile. So, yeah, I didn't ship your gun out. And, of course, that was Christmas Eve. So we finally shipped it out on the 28th. And then I should have it sometime this week. So excited.
I'll tell you.
Following,
Oh, look at that. Copycat.
yeah. Got my sweet extended handguard too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That'll look cool on there.
No.
And this. But I gotta wait until it comes in because then I want to go hold some grips at the store because I've never bought in different ones before, so I don't know which one I actually want.
You're going to have to take a grinder to your fucking handguard, right?
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm just saying.
Whatever.
Because in case folks don't know, the WK's got a hilariously large gas block.
But this is hilariously large on the inside.
No, dude. Have you checked I checked the dimensions, and like something like 90% of all handguards out in the market do not fit over it.
These are the ones, the weapons grade Chinesium ones that the other people are using and that fit. So.
Okay. Well, there you go. I did not know that there was a Chinese.
You got to rely on the wisdom of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, guys on Canadian Gun Nuts there, they definitely wouldn't steer you wrong.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't work, it's okay because it was $50. So.
All right.
Good. Did you bring enough for the rest of the class?
Fuck you. Well.
Then the last thing is I'm slowly but surely winning money on the BLTs to pay for a Stag 10. So.
What?
Well, every time I've been winning money on the BLTs, I keep sending texts to Kroger there. But one more win away. One more win away.
That's bullshit. Like you should just buy it already. You're like 2/3 of the way to it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Because I could do that, or I could buy a nice Tika T3 in 308 with a nice scope, and then have a forever gun. But
you don't plan on keeping the Stag 10?
No, but it's not like a accurate. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a accurate bolt action gun that would be a hunting rifle forever.
It could be accurate.
It could be accurate.
Oh, it'd be minute of deer for sure, and I could definitely just if I miss the first one, I got 9 more to go. So
there you go.
Accuracy through volume. Suppressing fire.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, those
you don't really need half the meat on that deer. Just poke holes in it until it drops.
Well, I mean, the best meat's in the rump, right?
So shoot everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot the head, shoot the neck, shoot the shoulders, shoot the legs, shoot the guts. Oh yeah, that's the best.
Shoot him in the dick too if you can.
Shoot the dick right off him.
Well, it's hard to shoot him right off. You can shoot him half off fairly easily.
Yeah. Well, if
True story.
You gotta wait right till he's mounting the doe, and then dick off and give the Texas heart shot to the doe.
Yep.
And for the folks that don't know what a Texas heart shot is, that's where you shoot a deer in the ass and it hits the heart.
Do you have to angle it down or up or right, left?
Well, you just shoot them while they're running away from you.
Oh, I get the Texas. Oh, I get it. Now I get it.
Well, yeah. Other than that, eye banging some cheap stuff. Those Gersans look real nice. Now they're really cheap because
they look real cheap. They don't look real nice. They look real cheap.
They look nice in the sense that they're cheap, and to me that's nice.
Yes.
Budget, volume, gun ownership through volume, not quality.
What the fuck? We have 15 viewers. People, don't you have better things to do?
Yeah,
it's not.
It's not.
No hockey games. No good hockey games on.
That's true. It's New Year's Eve, so everybody's still off. Oh, New Year's Day, so everybody is off work. So,
yeah.
Shouldn't you be like making stuff for tomorrow for the rest of the week?
Come on.
Maybe. Hey, Adrian, what have you been up to? You had a fun little explosive week, whatever. Right?
I got a bunch of stuff. I'll talk about the other stuff first. So I ordered some ETS mags, and the reason why I ordered some ETS mags wasn't because I need more Glock mags, because I don't. But they have some 40 cal mags that work in the 9mm, and they say 40 on them. And this is interesting to me as a 3-gunner. Yes. So yeah, because 40 cal mags that have the same feed lips as 9mm. We'll hold 13 rounds of 9mm. So that's competitive with the setup I had with this Shadow, because with the Shadow I was running those 13 round mags as well. So that was interesting, because I actually prefer shooting the Glock. It's a bigger grip on it. It's got that huge mag well, and I think I talked about this on the last show.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I found that Aztec Armory has those on their website. They're bringing some in for me for February. Benny Lewis was also saying that he can get them in as well. So I got 5 of those things coming in. Hopefully they're good.
Oh, you're going to game it up hardcore, eh?
Oh, I was gaming with my Shadow anyways. I had the 13 round mags for this guy.
Have people been salty about that? Or
No, no, that's the game. Like, if all the guys running the Shadows are running the 40 cal mags, that's why you can't find them right now. 3-gun is causing shortages.
God damn it, guys!
The gamers, yeah,
the gamers. It's like when all the crypto people were buying up all the fucking video cards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, 3-gun's really gaining in popularity. We had like 75% growth this year, and I think a lot of the other clubs that you look at around the country have also seen like a lot of growth this year. I mean, IPSC is good too, but IPSC is just pistol or just rifle or just shotgun, whereas 3-gun, you're utilizing all 3 of them. If any of you guys watched the CCFR's Downrange episode 1, they had they were going through like a tactical style 3-gun match. I think it was just a 2-gun match. It was like rifle and carbine. Whereas we do like a pure up like gamer 3-gun match where people are running around with these, not like cop guns or army guns or anything like that, but like flashy gamer guns and that kind of thing. And we are gaming it by running 13 round 40 cal mags in our Glocks and Shadows and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, it's a very different style of 3-gun. I kind of want to get those guys to come out and film one of our matches next year, because the difference is pretty large. Oh,
you should have them film Janitor just fucking tearing it up.
Yeah, him with
with his like crazy space gun, 3D printed extendo clip of scenes.
Yeah, that'd be the idea. Is just to show the difference and kind of show like it's a different style of shooting, right? They had one on IPSC, and I think that's good, because that's the style that they're trying to show. I mean, instantly you think about like about what they're trying to do. So like Wild TV has got a lot of hunters on it. Not a lot of people who like really appreciate this kind of thing, or ARs and that kind of thing. So turning a lot of those guys who are hunters who aren't really into the sport shooting, and at least giving them appreciation for it, so they defend us, and they're not just like, oh yeah, ban those handguns, and they're throwing the the other shooters to the wolves. Yeah, it's pretty good. I ordered Gersan MC28 SA because the price was just too good.
Wasn't it like $280? Yeah,
$289. Oh man,
that's Norinco price.
It's less than Norinco price. It's like a combat pistol too. Like it's a Norinco. The thing is, I've got Norincos, and they're a project gun. You get them, and you're like, okay, what am I gonna have to do? I have to change out this. I'm gonna have to change out that, and then after you work on them as a project, you might get something good, right? But those Gersans, $289, like they were selling for $350, and that was a pretty good deal, because they're by and large a copy of an MP9 at $289. Can't stop myself. So yeah, I got one of those. Wolverine Supplies also has them for sale if you prefer to buy from them. I think they're selling them for $5 less. So,
I'll go buy one tomorrow.
Yeah, Wolverine's got them. So
I would consider a Striker Fired, except I hate Striker Fires because I'm a trigger queen.
Yeah, now I did a lot of my pistol like training using Striker Fired guns, so I'm okay with the crappy trigger and the high flipperosity and all that kind of stuff compared to a metal gun. So for me, it's like, oh man, that would be like a cheap backup gun, right? So.
or a drop gun.
Except for that whole serial numbering thing. Was that Garrett?
You had me at cheap.
Yeah, that's what had me. So that'll be inbound at some point. I don't think Tenda's like sends you like we're shipping this, here's the number or anything like that. I think it just shows up. So
they send it through Canpar, so
Oh,
you're gonna wanna take a time off your day to go pick it up from the.
nope. I work from home. All deliveries show up and I get them.
That's but you're used to Canada Post or FedEx or whatever. Canpar is
awesome in my area of town. I've never
like,
had them skip a delivery.
You've got a good Canpar then.
Yeah.
I've had well, then again, I shouldn't say I have just had bad experiences with Canpar. I've had bad experiences with every single courier. So yeah.
Now I feel bad because that's how my WK is coming.
I've had excellent experiences with Canpar and all the other ones. You have to be there to get it though. You definitely don't want to go to the distribution center because that's a pain in the butt. Yeah, Gersan MC28SA. So I'm going to write an article on that. I've seen some articles on it. I've seen a lot of articles that don't really answer the questions I have. It's supposed to take CZ mags. Does it or doesn't it? One guy was saying, oh yeah, it takes them. You just got to trim this or trim that and then it works. Some other guys are like, no, they're straight up CZ mags. So which is it?
So like what, 75 max, 85 max?
Yeah, CZ 75 mags. Hey, guess what? I got 10 of those things. Fucking sweet.
And some of them hold 13. Hey!
Yeah.
Hey!
So I mean, if the mags work, fantastic. And I was thinking about it, like imagine someone's getting into shooting and they're like, well, I want to like poke around for a bit and then later on get like a better gun, get like a Shadow 1 or something like that. Get the MC28, run the mag pouches, buy a bunch of magazines. When you're done with it,
gun ready for like $500.
Yeah, and when you're done with it, sell the gun, get a Shadow 1 or a Shadow 2. Your magazines and mag pouches are all the same.
There's people out there listening.
Yeah, that's a good story, right? So, anyways, that's what I was thinking. It'd be like, that'd be cool. That'd be interesting to do that. Let's see here. I wrote some gear articles. I wrote that acceptable accuracy article.
Bullshit.
I went and tried to I tried to get half of what the pros did, and I couldn't. like not half, like double the group sizes they got, and I couldn't do it. Their group sizes were just too good.
Yeah. I tried something like that. We'll talk about that in a sec.
Cool. Let's see here. I sold my XD45. It's sold.
Congrats!
And yeah, it's moving. I betted my 17B mag, so I had it in a Boyd stock, and I haven't gotten fantastic accuracy out of it. So I was going online. Some people are like, "Oh, these things are amazing accurate." I'm like, I disagree. But one guy was saying, "Oh yeah, I betted it, and it made a huge difference." So I betted mine. And
what does that entail?
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to explain that. So a rifle, the barrel and the action goes into the stock, and when they're in there, as it fires, they can kind of move a little bit, and as they move, they kind of shifts around the hits a bit. So if you epoxy them together, and not epoxy like permanently, but like you leave some release agent on the steel, and then you epoxy it together, what it does is create a perfect impression of all that steel in epoxy on the stock, so that when you put them together, they are perfectly mated together and they can't move. They move as one now.
Ideally, you would do that with a free-floated barrel stock, right?
And that's and that's what I did with the BMAG. Was I epoxy bedded it. I put a little bit of clay in there to center the barrel perfectly, so that my action was perfectly centered in the stock, and it had this new super rigid hold on it. And I got pretty good results. Here's
it's a 17 HMR, right?
It's a 17 WSM, so it's got a little bit more spunk than an HMR. That's looking pretty good.
Is that a 50?
Yeah, that's at 50. So like that's right around half an inch.
Yeah, that's half an inch.
That's okay.
But then that's more than okay.
I had a couple that just weren't like this. See these two that are going low here? Garbage, right?
You sure you didn't pull them?
What's that?
You sure you didn't pull them?
No, I did not pull them. And then take a look at this guy. This is an 8-shot group. Look at this. Looking great up here, and then one of these guys down here. Now, here's why I'm saying I didn't pull it. Because I had a couple of times where my rounds didn't go off. They would have let's see if I can get this thing.
You got it. It's there.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore.
Okay. Well, anyways, this rim has been hit multiple times, and I kept cranking it, and I would turn it, and then it would go off. So I think this WSM ammo, some of it is primed inconsistently in the rim, and that's causing. What's that?
Who makes it?
This stuff was Hornady, but also had Winchester.
Oh, that's a problem. Winchester is not reliable.
Well, the Hornady stuff was actually causing me more issues. But I bet, because this process is still kind of new, I bet all these cases are made in one factory. I bet you they have one place that makes them, and then Hornady puts their different bullets on or whatever. Because they wouldn't, like, why would they tool up for, like, this is a nail firing blank that they've necked down. And that's why Winchester started making it was because of that. Anyways, when I had the ones that wouldn't fire because of the priming compound, and I'd rotate them and put them back in, and then I'd get them to fire, they were the ones that were printing low on me. So I think it's a priming issue with these cases. And there was another guy on YouTube. Again, I YouTube a lot of stuff when shit doesn't go right. There's another guy saying, like, yeah, he cronied his loads, and he found a swing of plus 90 or minus 80 FPS.
Holy fuck!
Like, way too much to be getting out of a gun like this.
That's like 80-year-old surplus ammo ranges.
Yeah. Which, if your priming was inconsistent, that would cause it.
Yeah.
Really crappy priming, right?
Yeah. I would concur with that. Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna keep screwing around with that. Maybe I'll try some different ammo, or maybe I'll just put more rounds through it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that gun, but like some of those groups were accurate enough. About half an inch at 50 is about 1 MOA at 100, and that's good. That's good enough. That'll do it for gophers.
Mm-hmm. That's more than enough for gophers, really.
Yeah. I took my AR-15 out.
No.
And I had hammer follow with it again.
No.
I don't know what the hell it is.
You've done it all, man. You've done it all.
Just to fill everyone else in on what I've been having here. What I've been having is the hammer follows the bolt every once in a while, so it doesn't strike the pin or anything like that. I'm getting hammer follow, and then when I go to pull the trigger again, it's a dead trigger, right? This could be from short stroking, but it picked up more rounds every time, and it locked back every time this time. I'm out of it. Now I'm starting to think like, oh, maybe I'm not holding it stiff enough. Maybe I'm not pulling the trigger back far enough. And I'm pressing it on as the bolt is going forward. What other reason? I've replaced everything else. The only thing that's consistent is the barrel. So what I might do is take that AR-15, strip all the parts out of it, throw all the parts into a new upper and lower, and see if it still does it. Maybe I'll use a different recoil spring and buffer as well.
I would say you're still using the NEA upper and lower, aren't you?
No, just lower. And I had tried the other lower. I'm gonna switch over to the upper and lower. I've got an Aero Precision upper and lower that I can switch to. I'll just switch them both to that and see what happens.
Do that, and you know what? It's commendable how diligent and perseverance you've been trying to get that thing to run. At this point, when the WK does it out of the box, you might as well just
run a WK. Yeah, might as well. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, and then I got this magical business out of my shadow. Well, it was in the barrel; it wasn't coming out. So yeah, I had to actually take it back here to pull it out. But there's a 9mm case that came out of my shadow, and you can see it's bent down there. That's actually following the feed ramp for the barrel there. Now, some people were I posted this on Reddit. Some people were saying like, yeah, my buddy had that happen. It's because the shadows can be fired out of battery. You can actually pull the trigger on them when the slide's not in or when it's not in battery. And I want to show you why you can't. So right now, slides forward. Yes, you can pull the trigger.
Did you just say right meow?
Yeah, right meow. You can pull it back a little bit. You can still fire it, but you'll notice that the barrel is still locked into the slide, right? Now, as soon as the barrel unlocks even a touch, okay, there's the barrel unlocked. The trigger is now dead, right? So the barrel will always be at least halfway engaged into the lugs on this thing for the trigger to go off. Now, it might be different on the Shadow 1, but there we go. There's the barrel. The barrel's still in the slide there. It'll pull the trigger, but as soon as you get it a little bit too far and the barrel is definitely unlocked, it's a dead trigger. So there, like, I know why people want to believe that it's out of battery, because if it's an out of battery, then it wasn't your fault for reloading, right? Oh, the primer was proud or something like that. I didn't do anything as dangerous as double charging around, but you probably did. I know. I like with this one. That's exactly what it was. And the other thing you can look at is the case, and if you see it like getting squat like this, where it's bent in around the rim that much, that's definitely like way too much pressure because it's started to flow to the rear here. So, yeah, I had a bunch of ammo that you guys go to the range. Like if you go to a match, what'll happen is you'll be firing and
you're done the course of fire.
You're done your course of fire. You'll rack out your rounds. You'll pick it up off the ground. You put it in your pocket or put it in a mag or something like that and keep going. At the end of a match, you'll have like a handful of ammo or whatever, and I just chuck them in a range bag. And when I get home, I'll throw them all in a box. And you do that for a couple of years, and eventually you got like a whole bunch of like loose random ammo in a box, bunch of stuff from like reloads and factory and whatever. So that's what I was shooting on Sunday. And the unfortunate part is I have no idea if this was one of my reloads, if this was a factory round. I have nothing. And you can't read the head stamp on this thing is toast.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, what is the head? Oh, the head stamp is gone.
It's maybe if I got like a magnifying glass and like one of those like CSI things they use to like see what happens to like a serial number that's been ground off, but
no, I don't think there's anything left grounded.
No. So so that thing's toast. What happened with the gun? Okay, so once it was done, the gun was actually like this. That was the condition it was in. So what I think happened there was it did actually cycle. That's the only reason why the hammer is back like that. It did actually cycle, come back, and it just hit like that because there's so much brass and crap in the way from this monster expanding in the chamber. It shot the extractor. I have no idea where it went. I searched like in a 3-meter radius. I couldn't find it. So it went further than that. And even if I were to find it, it would be bent to shit. It wouldn't be worth reusing anyways. So it's gone. There's actually a pin in the top of these things that holds those extractors in, and that thing's sheared. So I'll have to pound out that pin. So I'll need a new extractor pin, and then let me just pull this thing open so I can show you guys. The slide's fine. The barrel's fine. I took a look at it. I've got a camera that does macro photography, so I could get in there really close and really detailed and see if there's anything cracked or anything like that. Nothing's fine. There's a spring that goes on the inside here to hold on to the slide stop, and that pin got blown out just from the pressure. It just popped it out the side there. So new pin, and that's it. I mean, even the slide stop's fine. So gun handle it great. I'll be back up.
They're the sign. They're the sign to fail in a way that will vent things in directions that won't injure the shooter. Because I've had something like that happen to me.
Yeah, I mean, some guns will handle an overpressure fairly well. Some of them won't. Like a lot of the plastic pistols wouldn't handle this as well.
I mean.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Most of the gas pressure went out the mag well. it shot my magazine base pad down so violently that it shattered into a million pieces. I caught some of the plastic pieces in the face. That's why I got a little bit here, a little bit there. Nothing major, and that's why you wear eye protection, right? But it totally shattered it. It just popped so much pressure out the bottom, killed the base plate, bent the mag a little bit, but
Yep.
This is like super minor stuff. Big deal. Get a new base plate. I kind of wanted aluminum ones anyways. So
That's your lucky mag now.
yeah, now I have to, right? So yeah, I mean
darn it.
yeah, overall pretty good outcome, all things considering. And I'll have the parts by tomorrow. So I don't even. This gun isn't going to even be down that long. There's a company in Alberta here called A-Zone that they go to all the IPSC events. They had all the parts I needed. They had a good price. They shipped them like the same morning I was emailing them. I'm like, hey, you got these parts? Like, yep, it'll be this much. EMT. They're like, it's in the mail. It was so good.
Nice.
So yeah, have this thing back up and running in no time. So just like I mentioned, I don't have a moral of the story or anything like that because I have no idea if this was me. It had to be. I'm not going to say it wasn't because it probably was. But watch your reloads. Wear your eye protection.
Eye pro is important.
Yep. Don't do drugs.
Whoa,
Drugs.
Or
you
do.
can now.
You know.
Or it's 2019.
Yeah, some of them.
It's 2019. It's the first time I've said that.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, that is... Yeah, that's it for me. I'm waiting on I'm going to get a pistol, and I'm going to get some pistol parts in the mail.
And
So you still haven't bought any guns in 2018?
I bought some guns last year.
Did you say 2018 there?
He did say
2019.
2018.
2019.
Yep.
You haven't
Yep.
bought any guns in 2019.
No.
Jeez.
What
I'll
a
have
leg.
I bought gun parts in 2019.
But you haven't bought a gun, have you?
No, I'm waiting on a gun to show up.
That's not the same. Because guess
No.
what? I bought a gun today. Isn't that exciting, kids?
Does it shoot BBs or pellets?
Yes.
Nice.
I bought a thing. It's not something that I was expecting to buy, but it's something that kind of has been on my mind. But I hadn't gotten around to doing it because I just didn't feel like spending money on something like that until I saw this. Wow, Browning Auto 5. But what is it, Senor Crover?
It's a barrel.
It's a long
Still a barrel.
recoil, semi-automatic, 12 gauge scatter gun. But what is this? What is all this stuff that you're showing us, Senor Crover? Well, that's the gun, man. I don't
Browning
have a whole picture of
space
it.
technology.
Yeah, it's a design from the venerable John Moses Browning that predates the 1911, and it was being manufactured up until 1999. And this is, for all intents and purposes, a well-used, maybe well-loved gun. And I'm hoping to turn it into just kind of something to try, something to use. I haven't had a long recoil action yet. It's always just been,
What color?
direct impingement or short stroke piston, blowback. I haven't had any roller delayed. But yeah, this is going to be my first foray into long recoil. And what's interesting is long recoil, for those of you who don't know, is as the firearm is actuated and the round goes off, the bolt is locked into the barrel and they move together for a small amount of time, microseconds, but that's called the dwell time, and that lets the chamber pressure go down because the barrel moves backwards as the shot goes out, the projectile goes out, and eventually the barrel hits a stop and the bolt continues on, and the action ejects, picks up a new round, and goes in. I saw that on CGN. I saw the post on CGN 2 weeks ago, and the fella called. It was hilarious. It was something like drunk pricing. No unreasonable offers will be denied. And I did a little bit of research, asked a few people, made a couple of posts on Shotguns, Guns, and Canada Guns, got some info on it, and made an educated offer. And the guy's like, "Yeah, you seem to know what you're doing," because it was hilarious. The guy's like, "Oh yeah, I was a competitive skeet shooter, but I guess I thought I knew my shotguns." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a careful shopper, so." I looked at a bunch of things, and one of the things that is particularly interesting about that is with 12 gauge, the recoil and the recoil impulse of different loads can be quite different. If you think about it, if you've ever shot birdshot versus buckshot versus a slug versus a magnum slug, you can tell the difference, right? So with a semi-automatic action, you do have to have a way to moderate the velocity at which the action cycles and how the recoil impulse is transferred to the shooter. So for the Browning A5, John Moses Browning developed what I can only say is a brilliant design centered around friction rings. Basically, there is a brass ring that will compress as a steel ring presses against it. And that will in turn slow down the velocity at which the entire action cycles. You can also set them up in different ways for a lighter cycling action or a heavier cycling action, because you have light loads or you have your heavy loads. You have your buck and slugs or you have your birdshot,
So with that, sorry.
Yeah.
With that, do you have to do that yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Beforehand, what the recommendation is set it up for heavy loads, and if it cycles with a heavy load setting, leave it alone. If it's giving you issues, start fucking around with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did that. I bought it, and it was a really good price. I think this may have been the cheapest gun that I've bought in a long time. I'm not gonna say how much it was because I might end up selling it like I usually do. But I got it for a good price. Other than that, I went to the range because some hoser freaking posted an article on the internet saying that, oh, like when you're a pro, you like shoot quarters at 10 yards or some bullshit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who it was. Do you know, guys, who it was? It was some fucking guy, right? Some fucking guy.
No idea.
Internet expert.
The internet expert, yeah.
Claimed expert.
Yeah, he said he did some research and went to like websites and looked at what competitive
watch some Olympic shooters
do. It's all fucking bullshit if you think about it, really.
Sounds like it.
It does.
Olympics. Conspiracy.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's blood doping shooting. Come on.
Yeah. You want to hear an interesting aside? The first confirmed disqualification for substance abuse in the Olympics was in like the 1910s for like an European taking like a swing of beer before shooting to steady his nerves during competitive pistol shooting.
Yeah, I remember that meme.
Yep. But yeah, so I went out. And then I looked at what the hoster said online. And he said that at 10 yards, you had to shoot like an inch with your pistol or something like that, isn't it? Does anybody know what it was?
Nope. At 10 meters, they're shooting half an inch usually, or less.
Uh-oh.
Jesus Christ, that's a little extreme, isn't it?
Well, I can't do it, but I'm not an Olympic sports shooter. I like to make noise usually.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be an Olympic beer drinker. I could definitely do the regional qualifiers to go to the Olympics.
Yeah. What ended up happening is I decided to try it out and see. I've never sat down and tried to group a pistol. You, like Adriel said, you just end up making noise. This is with a Glock 17 and 10 yards. Shooting it quickly. This is my buddy's gun, by the way, and he needs to adjust his fucking sights clearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
because it's a consistent group and it's to the left, so it's definitely the sights. It's like a 4-inch group, and if you shoot it fast, it's a little bit bigger, about twice as big, 8 inches. And then what I did is I took my Shadow 1 and I said, okay, let's see what the shadow can do. So the shadow does about the same. The first group, the second group tightened up to 3.5 inches. Oh no, 3.2 inches, and the third group got under 3 inches. So Adriel said that was nice. I don't know if it's nice. Is it nice, Adriel? I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, not fine. That's good. If you're shooting 2 to 4 inch groups at 10 meters, that's perfectly acceptable, and that's like you're good to go for your black badge, and your accuracy is to the point where you can shoot it. I mean, it's a lot more difficult to go where you can shoot fast but not accurately, and then try to add the accuracy on. It's way easier to start with the accuracy, being able to at any point in time shoot a 3-inch group, for example. Is exactly what you need. Like on the clock, if you're missing, you can just take a breath, take a little bit more time, squeeze your shot off, and you'll make your hit.
Yep, this is what you said is exactly what happened here. I've never shot this shadow like quick on paper, and quick on paper gave me a 10-inch group. So I was like, okay, so let's change the grip, make sure that I'm gripping the fuck out of the grip, like you said, and like Janitor said, that you have to just squeeze the ever-loving shit out of your grip.
Were you putting your hand underneath the mag in the teacup shape?
No, I was single. I was Olympic style single shooting sideways.
One-handed.
One-handed.
Disjointing your elbow.
Disjointing my elbow and lining it up. Yes. Okay. And then I tightened my grip, and look at that. It cut the group size in half. That was kind of interesting. Then I moved on. Oh, what?
Yeah, I mean, most of your shots are within like a 3-inch, and they're all in the black except for the one, right?
Yeah.
If that's rapid fire, you're good to go, man.
No,
your black badge, start shooting some competition stuff.
I'm happy to hear that. And then I decided, just for the memes, to run my Bubba quality pissing hot hand loads on 357 on my gigantic, enormous 8-inch barrel revolver. And yep, it does about the same, except the recoil sometimes kind of gets to you. As you can see, every once in a while, it gets real nice and tight, and then you're gonna go all over the place. And this one on the right side, this was actually shot at 25 yards. So I was actually quite happy that I got all 7 shots on paper, because I had an extra round and I just had to finish burning through those. So I'm happy that I got everything on paper at 25 yards.
You sure that was 2 sets?
No. This was a set of with a rifle at 10 yards, just mag dumping 10 rounds as quickly as possible, and that gives me like a 2-inch group. I don't know.
Off the bags, right?
No, this was standing 10 yards away. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Here we go. This is something a little different. This is at 100 yards with the WK just mag dumping it, kind of. It's off the bench on a rest with a rear bag. It seems to consistently group just a little bit shy of 5 inches, just 4.5 inches with just bullshit ammo. And then over here is my hand loads for my 308, and this is just, I haven't shot the 308 in a while. This was the first group, so yeah, it's okay. It's just about an inch. And then this is what happens when I took my time with the 308 with the hand loads. I had a flyer, but I know this rifle, cold bore shots, because I let the barrel cool in between groups for those ones. It likes to throw a flyer low left. I'm not sure why, but it does. It's something that I've noticed consistently with that rifle. Otherwise, once I took a couple of more shots, you can see that it does ragged hole groups at 100 yards off the bench with a bag and that.
So you should bring a torch to preheat your barrel.
Yes. Yes, I should. Yeah. This is the WK shooting it slowly. This was actually the first group that I shot with the WK because I was re-sighting the scope. I found that I didn't like where I had placed the scope that first time when I made that video of me mounting the scope. The eye relief wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. So I readjusted the position of the scope, and then that's what it did the first shot. This was the second group that I did, taking my time. And this was the third group that the WK did with absolute bullshit bulk ammo. I should mention that I did upgrade the trigger. It went to a Rise Super Sporting trigger. It's a cassette-style trigger pack. And while it required a slight modification of the bolt hold open bar for the WK, that trigger for the price is amazeballs. It's a single-stage, non-adjustable, curved trigger bow trigger that's about 3-pound pull. and there is like the smallest amount of squishiness in there, and I don't really call it like a squishiness. It's more like a slight take up, and then it breaks, and it's 3 pounds, and it's like $180. So it's a pretty good trigger for what you get.
So, did you try non-bullshit ammo through your WK?
I did. I will show you that in a second.
All right.
What I also did is I took the bolt action CZ 452, which is a 22 bolt action rifle, and I ran some nice ammo through it. I had it sighted for bulk ammo, so it wasn't hitting exactly where I wanted it. It did that with the first 5 shots of CCI. That's what I call the fouling shots. Some people say that when you go and group something, you should shoot a group to get the gun accustomed to the ammo. I don't know to what extent that is fuddler and to what extent that actually helps. But
your first shot of the day might be a little bit off. Like I noticed whenever I shoot a rifle, that first shot, I'm putting it on a different part of the target because it usually does hit a little bit different.
Yeah, so those were the first 5 shots out of the CZ with CCI standard velocity 40 grain lead round nose. So that did 1.75 MOA at 100 yards. Then I did 2 more groups with that CCI. Then I switched to Ely. That's the Ely group at 100 yards. So they group about as well as yours did, Adriel. So that was nice. Back to the WK. I did hand loads for it, boys and girls. I was running just some berries bullets, bulk projectiles that I got on sale at Cabela's for Boxing Day. And you know what? There is something to be said about consistent powder charges because it groups better than any of the ammo that I've ran through that gun so far. This was the largest group. Oh, no, this is a group that's slightly larger. But the first charge that I tried, which was 24 grains of Varget, grouped 2 inches. 24.5 grouped 1.71 inches. 25 grains grouped 1.5 inches. And then it started going the other direction. 25.5 did 2.25, and 26 did 2.24 MOA. This is the reference group of the same ammunition that I was shooting before, the federal bulk ammunition, 2.8 MOA group at 100 yards. So yeah, after this, I'm gonna be playing around the 25 grain group. I'm gonna go plus and minus 0.1 increments for 3 grains around the 25, just to see if that has any effect. And after I play with the charge, the last step in fucking around with reloading involves seeding depth. I seeded these projectiles to 2.224 inches. The max overall length of a cartridge for the 223 Remington chambering is 2.6 inches. So I got a lot of room to play with, but especially with semi-autos, you have to be watching magazine fitting, because if the magazine will not allow the projectile to be seated very, very long, then it's kind of useless. So I have to find out what the maximum length of the cartridge can be for most AR-15 magazines. I have no idea what it is.
With your WK, is yours one of the ones that was reamed into the 5.56?
Nope, it's a 223 wild chamber.
Okay.
Yep. So that was that for the WK. Yeah, I'm gonna play with 25 and see what's happening. And then this happened. I took my time with CCI and Ely, and I got what may have been the best group I've ever gotten, ever. It's a, let's see, wait. That guy. There's a clear flyer, if you want to call it that. But even with the flyer included, at 100 yards, with 22 long rifle, out of a bolt action rifle, I got a 0.54 MOA group. If we take the flyer out, it's a 0.3 MOA group. Here is another one of the same ammunition. It's a 0.96. There is a pattern. There's 3 holes together and then 2 holes together. I don't know how to interpret that, but that's that. This is what Ely does. It's a 1.1 MOA group at 100 yards. Again, 2 off to the side, 3 together. I think that might be a shooter, because this is also what Ely can do. It's 4 holes relatively together, and then 1 off to the side for a 1.5 MOA group. Or if you take the flyer out, a 1.73 MOA group. So I don't know what that means. I think that means that I can do better.
What was the wind conditions?
Calm.
All right. Well,
Every once in a while, it blew a little. Adriel, your take on this?
That's what wind does. Every once in a while, it blows. Yep.
Once in a while, it blows.
Yeah. My take on it is that's about what those guns are like capable of. You're getting some really decent groups out of it, and yeah, I'd use that. Are you going to go shoot it at like a rimfire precision match or something like that?
I don't know if there's any running in Alberta. I saw Pixis posted one on the sub.
One running in Alberta.
Oh.
There's going to be one at Chaz in May. Why don't you come up to Edmonton and shoot a 22 match?
I could do that.
I will send you a link.
Interesting. Yeah, that's what I've been up to. That's what Win does. Somebody commented that on the sub on the page.
Got him. Yeah.
Oh, remember, don't grip your WK by the mag well. Why? Oh, DV?
That's what four end grips are for, bro.
4 penises.
Yes.
4 penises? Yes. Oh, memes. 2018 was a meme-filled year, wasn't it, folks?
It was.
Yes. So many memes.
Garrett, did you pick out your favorite memes of 2018?
I did, but then I got shown a meme that I didn't see, and that happened to be the best one. So.
Okay, well, what was the screen share your image? What was the ones that you liked the best?
See, I don't really want to do that because then I have to steal someone else's meme. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my whole thing is just meme guns.
Okay, well, I guess I'll show my favorite memes of the year.
Yeah.
Here we go. My favorite meme of 2018. In no particular order, I have a couple of them. Would be
set it to your screen. There you go.
Yeah. Would be this guy. Been testing a pre-production Maccabee SLR by TNA. Somebody's been watching. I like that. I like that a lot. Followed by oh yeah, baby, tell me what you want. Talk to me like you're a fucking idiot. Canadian gun laws make sense. That's perfect. I'm a big fan of that one. This one is just a classic 2018 meme that I hope dies relatively quickly. The slapping car salesman. RCMP slaps firearms act. This Bible can fit so much fucking interpretations. Yep. And the last one is sex is intimate and sacred. Your body is a temple, and you shouldn't share it with anyone who doesn't want to repeal the Firearms Act of Canada. That is nothing but truth, folks.
Jesus.
Adriel, your top memes of 20.
Whoa, just give me 1 sec. I'm loading them up. Oh, that's the same one. Double tap. No. Okay, and that one. I like this one here. Don't drink and shoot guns or train how you fight. Yeah. Pick one. Whoa. All right.
Wow.
There we go. I think this one hurt us too. So this is I actually stole this one from Weekend Gun It, but kind of hit us too because we don't have any more Canada gun deals anymore.
CanadaGuns.
And then this one is this is a real for me. This one I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it when I'm on a match.
You showed that one there in the sidebar for us. I'm just like, that's my top meme of the year.
Make it stop.
Exception.
Yeah.
Do we know what's coming up for 2019 in terms of new guns? Has there been anything announced?
Well, the Tavor 7 should come in.
What, the shotgun one?
No, that's their Bullpup Semi-Auto 308.
Ooh.
So a Desert Tech that isn't shit?
Yeah, because Tavor is making it, or IWI, and they're taking their time. and it's going to be awesome.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to buy one because I don't feel like spending $2,500 on a bullpup 308, but it's interesting that it's
Why don't they
in
make
market.
those guns in left-handed jet? We just
No, they do. You just have to buy a different bolt.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
no.
No? Yeah, they
Yeah,
make the
that's-
board. They make the board left-handed bolts. You literally just pop the cover on one side, pop it on the other, and you. Oh wait, no, there's something else you have to change in there. But yeah,
but
there's.
it's a thing. You could do that. That's sweet.
Yeah, but then again, you're spending $2,000 on a rifle, and then you have to pay another $250 for the bolt, and you have to fix the trigger because the trigger is bullshit. So you have to pay like another $400 for a trigger pack.
One more pull on the old VLT, right?
That's what you
This is
call
upsetting to
selling
me.
meth. I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, one more pull on.
Gambling the mortgage money away.
Yes. What I want for 2019 is an affordable sub $600 non-restricted AR-15 upper and lower.
I think you'll get it.
Me too. Like if it's not Spectre Ballistics, it's gonna be WK, or if it's not gonna be WK, it's gonna be another company, and they're gonna crank out something that doesn't fit the upper and lower of an AR-15. They're not gonna research and develop out the ass and charge $1,000 for it, Maccabee, or just ride the brand name ATRS, and then
You know what I would love? I would love for Stag to be like, oh man, we sold a whole bunch of these 308s in Canada. Why don't we give them a little bit of love and make a Stag 15S that's
oh yeah, I keep forgetting about Stag. But yeah,
Stag 15C.
Yeah. I would love it if it
Whatever,
was a Canadian company like Spectre Ballistics or Wolverine Supplies, but if Stag wants to come in and just shit the market, go for it. If you think about it, the Stag 10, how much is just the bare bones upper and lower? Isn't it like $550?
Yeah.
And
it's high quality.
Wasn't it $5.99 shipped or whatever?
No, dude, it was like $550, $560. Well, maybe before taxes, but yeah, it was like there's people I can think of a few people that I know that would have gone.
If they had the left-hand ones, because I wanted left-handed, I would have bought that for sure. But if I want left-handed, I got to buy full. I mean, I know I can go through the guys and I can get a left-handed one, but I wanted it now.
Yeah. Yeah. If I was a betting man, I would say Stag would be the company to go ahead and do this. Ideally, I would want it to be a Canadian company. So Tristan, get working on this.
Design such a gun that no one else has been able to do. Please and thank you.
I keep saying it. I mean, I don't know how intellectual property in this kind of thing works, because you're just you're literally just taking an AR-15 CAD file and fucking around with it until it doesn't fit in an upper and lower.
And so it's not based on an AR-15.
Yeah.
So you need to show some sort of lineage. Like that's the 102. Its lineage is both predates the AR-15, so you could do it with that.
What is the Stag 10 based on?
So the Stag 10 gets away with it because it's an AR-10, and it's not a variant of the AR-15. It's an AR-10 that has a upper and lower that doesn't fit an AR-10. Because the AR-10 is restricted, but not AR-10 variants.
And Stag 10 also has money, so that makes their legal issues with the RCMP a lot easier.
I don't think there's been a legal issue. The only legal issue is just getting it through the fucking firearms lab. I mean, that's what
when you have the lawyers.
That's what FN has been trying for years to do with their scars, is to get something through the RCMP lab that the RCMP lab won't. No, wait. Hold up. Shut the fuck up. For this scar, it is my understanding that the only thing they're hung up on is getting through the RCMP lab without them going, this is easily convertible to fully auto with a SCAR 16 lower or something like that.
Yep.
So I think they've submitted multiple, right? At this point, they've submitted multiple rifles to the RCMP lab trying to get them to to get a scar accepted into Canada is not restricted and not immediate prohib or restricted.
Hey, UGG boots are full auto. That's how it goes.
From what I understand from
Are you
looking at
swapping
guns, is
parts right
that
now, Adrian?
yeah, from what I
You bet I
understand,
am.
those look at you. We're gonna get demonetized because you're building a gun on the air.
I'm not telling people how to do it.
Adriel, if I wanted to drill a hole in my lower receiver, where would I drill that hole?
Right where the bullet is there.
Oh, today I learned. Oh, wait a minute. That's machining, and that's easy, right?
Yeah, anyone can like drill precision hole. I mean, you just take your Canadian Tire cordless drill and just jam on it till the pin fits, right?
Well, you say that, but there was a rather humorous, not so humorous post on Canada Guns not too long ago about a fella asking for advice of, I fucked up putting my bolt catch roll pin in. What do I do, folks? And the pictures included were kind of rough.
Can you link that?
He had black tape on the side. He didn't totally fuck it up.
No,
I thought
he did totally fuck it. Did you see that? Like he, it's
you might
ugly.
be right. You might be right. I thought the same thing, and I looked at it. I thought I saw a bunch of black tape.
Them on the lower itself, but you know how there's a curvature to the sides of the bolt catch protrusion.
Mhm.
The side where the pin was gonna come out of was fucked.
Oh, okay.
It looked like the guy legitimately tried to use a vise and just squeeze it in. That doesn't. I mean, just folks, take it from somebody that's pounded on a roll pin and deformed it. Just get a roll pin punch. Those things, it's ridiculous how easy it is to drive a roll pin into a fucking tiny little hole with a roll pin punch. It's almost like it's designed to do that or something like that.
You can go on eBay and buy the nice AR tools and then just buy a pre-assembled AR instead.
There you go.
I had big dreams of building one, and then I'm just like, ooh, I can just buy one.
Yeah, that's what most people should start with, unless you have like you've shot a bunch of them and you know what you're gonna fuck with, and you can build it from the get go. But otherwise, there is no reason not to buy a $600 PSA.
Oh, what about Norinco?
Those are okay too, but the price isn't good enough right now.
Nope. The Norincos, if you can find them, they're like $550. Why get a Norinco that may or may not work in terms of some parts when you can just buy a US made Palomito State Armory one?
Yeah.
Just get it out of the way. Or if you feel like being is Palomito the poverty pony?
No. Daniel Defense.
No. That's to Daniel. You're funny.
Anderson.
Okay.
Anderson.
Palmetto State Armory is pretty cheap. Anderson Arms.
Really
There's a bunch of cheap but good ones out there. Like
I just really want to buy
Anderson is poverty pony. That's it.
Yeah. I want to buy the Aero Ambi lower, like with the Ambi mag or the bolt release on both sides. That's what I want to buy.
I would say that that I've never once had an issue running an AR with the bolt release where it is. It actually works. In my opinion, it works better for a lefty than it does for a righty. That's why they have the fucking bad lever that causes NDs. If you want to use that instead of racking the charging handle, you can. I find it that it puts my finger reaches the bolt release just fine as a lefty on an AR.
That's the other thing I got. I put an Ambi.
Oh yeah, no, the Raptor charging handles. According to a buddy of mine who has bought no less than like
Raptor is what I put on this.
Yeah.
If that's the cheap one, some of them won't stay. The grabber on the side there is just a little bit off, and you'll have to grind it to fit.
Or if you have an McAfee SLR, maybe they'll just forget to put the fucking steel insert. So
that's another risk. Yeah.
That was the cheapest $13 one I could buy on eBay.
Oh, so it's a Raptor charging handle.
Raptor.
Oh yeah. 400 rounds so far. We took it out.
Oh, you're good then.
Yep.
Yeah. It seems like it's fine. So.
Do we have anything else to mention?
If you want to buy eBay parts, go ahead, but just prepare to spend money after. That's my advice.
Buy ones, cry ones is an advice that I've heeded so
I
far.
don't like that one. I don't like that one.
No,
Oh, I've
because
got a. This is an eBay forend on this guy that I'm going to use on my new 3-gun build.
how many rifles do you have for 3-gun?
Well, okay, I've got the AR-15 and I got a backup AR-15. I'm transferring all my good parts from my good AR-15, which is having that short cycle issue, to my other one.
More
Most of
eBay
the parts.
handguards.
And you have the WK.
And I have the WK, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know
There you
what
go,
that
folks.
counts. I can't count it to potato.
Ching chong.
Oh, we have a
Oh, no.
fella saying, "Who are these fellas? I just recognize hunting gear, dude." Well, I don't know.
I'm famous. I don't know about you
You're
guys.
You know what? He clearly didn't watch the start of the video where we
Clearly, he came in late. I just paint guns, and people get upset at me because of it. Garrett just shit.
I'm Krover Light.
Krover Light.
That's actually scarily accurate. Okay. Happy New Year. Hopefully, and numbers. Yeah, you wanted to talk about that, right, Adriel?
Yeah, you should pull up the numbers and just tell people because, like, I don't know, we have some viewers, right?
We do. We have a grand total of like 200 and some 254 subscribers.
Ooh.
Let's see what the analytics are for the last.
Three of them are here right now.
No, 17 of them it says, but I don't believe that. It's probably more like something sent this year 2018, last year 2017. Oh, look at that. Let's see. This year we have the average view duration is 18 minutes. So you guys stick around for about a quarter, about a fifth of the of this. No, I can't math. About a third of the show if it's an hour show.
We're really missing out on the quality raising as we get drunker.
This year we gained 69 subscriibers. Positive.
How many views do we have for the year? Like if you go for the year's analytics,
3,200.
There we go.
Yeah, that's like one video for you, right?
I don't know, like a portion of one.
Eat a dick.
What was the best video last year? The most watched?
In terms of what?
Views.
Views.
Views. Episode. Oh, well, that's actually interesting. That's a correlation. The C71 late night debate.
Huh. Interesting.
That was in March.
Lousy smarch weather.
Exactly.
I was hoping it was going to be the one where we were opening beers with Milsurps.
That may have been it for all I know.
I enjoyed that one.
I mean, we had a couple of good ones. That one, we had the tinfoil hat one. That was one of my favorites. We had a couple of
the Halloween special
ones.
was okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Red Viking says, I try to watch every show because I have no friends. We can be your friends.
I'm a little bit more choosy than Grover, so maybe.
Nate, I am Crover. Garrett is the other one, and Crazy's not here, so I forgot to update the post. So there you go.
Yeah. What did Crazy was he like disabled because of holiday drinking? Is what I'd like to think happened, but
let's go with that. Let's also speculate that there was a hooker involved, but no sex happened.
nice. I was assuming there was some sort of anime convention that he went to. So
how about a hooker in an anime convention and still no sex happened?
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah.
Did he have to pay?
That's what. We can ask him later. That's how we're gonna end the show, folks.
Great end.
Join link on the side chat and go to IRC if you want to ask us. We're always in IRC, like literally all the time. It's probably not good for us, but we are. Go watch Slamfire Radio. Take somebody out shooting that hasn't been shooting before. How about that?
Yeah.
That's your New Year's resolution, everybody.
New Year's resolution from your host, the Crover, is take somebody that has never been out shooting, and share your experience on the comments of the next post, and we'll talk about it. I have somebody that I know wants to go out, and I know that there is somebody that hasn't gone out in a while that wants to go out. So that's what I'm going to do.
Mag dumps.
Mag dumps for days with 22s because shooting anything else is expensive. Surplus. Adriel, say goodbye. Garrett, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good. Bye.
Bye. See you in 2 weeks. Good night.